Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. If you could please take your seats, and if you would also please silence your cell phones, that would be greatly appreciated. And at this point, if you would please stand, we're going to, for the presentation of the colors, and then also if you'll remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Thank you. You may be seated. So again, good evening and welcome to the City of Romulus, Mayor McCraight's 2022 State of the City presentation. And I'd also like to welcome you to the home of the Eagles. As a proud Romulus graduate, I'm very excited and honored to be here today. And we look forward to sharing a great State of the City with you this afternoon with the Mayor. Before we get started, I would like to recognize some of our elected officials that are here with us this evening, and in no particular order, and I do apologize for that. I'll do my best here. But I'd like to welcome from the City of Romulus, our City Clerk, Ellen Craig Bragg. Our City Treasurer, Stacy Page. City Councilman Bill Wadsworth. City Councilwoman Tina Talley. City Councilwoman Kathy Abdo. From the 34th District Court, our Honorable Chief Judge Brian Oakley. Also, Judge Lisa Martin. And among our guests here this evening, I'd also like to thank Mayor Bill Wild for attending from the City of Westland. And Michael Landau from the City Council, also from the City of Westland. I see lots of friendly faces out there, and I apologize if I missed introductions this evening, but thank you so much for being here. Okay, at this point, I would like to ask Pastor Willis if he would join us for the invocation.
Let us pray. Our Father, Lord our God, we are thankful and grateful for your amazing grace. We thank you, Father, for the changing of the guards. We thank you, Father, for what you've already done. And we thank you, Father, for what you're about to do. We ask now, Lord, that you will give this new mayor to this new city a vision to take us forward. We pray, Lord, you would give him strength and wisdom to do those things, Lord, that need to be done. We pray, Lord, that you will bless his health. Keep him strong, keep him healthy. And then, Lord, we ask you to bless his family. Keep his wife strong, keep his family strong, keep his family healthy. Then, Lord, we ask that you would bless his team, bless his staff. Keep them on one accord, that they will all remember that we do it for the betterment of all around us. This city is going to be a great city because of him. We ask now, Lord, you would give him the things he needs to carry us forward. Take care of him as he takes care of us. And we'll always give you the praise, always give you the honor and the glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Willis. Okay, at this point, I would ask you to please direct your attention to the video screen. Thank you.
We copy you down, Eagle.
Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Here we go. Hey everybody, welcome to the 2022 City of Romulus State of the City Address. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here this evening. I'm excited about it. Why Romulus High School? Because this is where my roots and my heart for this community began. This is why I wanted to come back here. We are Romulus Community Schools. We are not Romulus School District. We are not Taylor School District or Huron. We are Romulus Community Schools. So I thought it was important to communicate and to partner and have an event like this at our school district. You saw the video we started with right now. I'm an avid reader of books of prominent leaders, and Colin Powell is one of them. Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, JFK, read books on them. Also Martin Luther King, prominent leaders. Those 13 rules sum it up, especially that last one I got. Perpetual optimism is a force multiplier. That's what gets us here today. I say it all the time. You can't rain on this parade. We're going to keep moving in the right direction, keep getting things going for our community. And what exemplifies that even more than the way these Lady Eagles played basketball? I was so inspired by watching them play ball and coming. They played so hard. They never looked at the scoreboard. They never looked for results. They were driving the whole way and playing hard. And that exemplifies the attitude of my administration. We're going to play hard for Romulus every day. We're not going to look at the clock. We're not going to look at the score. We're going to keep running and running and running until the city is at the level we all deserve. So that's why I chose Colin Powell's rules. That's why I chose our Lady Eagles, and that's why I chose Romulus Community Schools to be here tonight and get this thing started. Gonna have to bear with me a little bit. I know sometimes I talk fast, and I'm trying to wrap this up in an hour, but the people on Mackinac can tell you that when I start talking about this city and my passion for this community, I can start to ramble on. So I'm gonna keep it going, and let's cue this thing up and get started, you guys. As your mayor, I will conduct business in an honest, transparent, straightforward manner. Simple as that. We said that during the campaign, and here we are in office. Transparency is the key. We said that during the campaign, everything I do will be to improve this community and your lives in this community, not for personal benefit. We're going to continue that mantra. McCraight administration has to have some core values. Core values are how you build your team. You find that talent, you share those core values, you hire, fire, promote, demote based on our core values. It's not a need or a want or a luxury, it's a must-have. You have to have that. Our team's core values, integrity and transparency. Self-explanatory, it's right there. Solution-oriented, we're still working on solving the problems. We've come a long way, we're not where we need to be, we're still going to get better at process all the time. Endeavor to improve and simplify process, says the same thing right there. How do we get better? How do we better service the residents of this community and move us forward? Inclusive service and opportunity for all. One thing we found when we were going through process to simplify and streamline and work on things was that we were doing that for economic development and doing it for the big guy, but sometimes we miss a little bit on the little guy. And we got to find ways to continue to be inclusive and work on opportunities for everybody. So those are our core values. The CAN statement still stands true. Customer service at all levels, always offer solutions, new and inventive ideas. That's where you make progress. One of the key focuses early in the administration was to make sure that we were of regional significance because many voices are louder than one. So if I go into a room with a partner or a teammate and we have louder voices and other communities with us, it's going to make our voice a little bit louder, a little bit stronger. So here you can see we met with Wayne County Commissioner Ray Basham, prominent businessman Honey Burrow, always supporting our causes. Right here we have Mayor Bozzi out of Dearborn Heights, Mayor Swift from Riverview, and Mayor Tim Woolley from the city of Taylor. Again, you'll hear me talk about those regional relationships and how it'll help gain leverage for our community and move us forward. And that's why those are important to me, important to our community. Again here, same cast of characters right here. Here we are at the Mackinac Policy Conference, meeting with Commissioner Al Haydes and also members of the Wayne County Airport Authority Board. Regional relationships, significance, it's always key. High priority, first 60 days, we were running, we're still running. We're not going to slow down, but those key meetings were important to have. So we sat down with our elected officials. We wanted to hear what their vision for the city was, share my vision for the city and my team's vision for the city, and find out how we're going to work together to get Romulus to the next level. So we sat down with City Clerk Ellen Bragg, City Treasurer Stacey Page, key city council members John Barden, Kathy Abdo, Celeste Roscoe, Tina Talley, Eva Webb, Williams Wadsworth, 34th District Court judges, Chief Judge Brian Oakley, Judge Tina Brooks-Green, and Judge Lisa Martin. On to the state level, we were able to have a quick meeting with the governor based on some work we did. So we met with Governor Whitmer, Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, Senator Gary Peters, Senator Erica Geis, State Rep Alex Garza, and also key Romulus School District board members, as well as Superintendent Witherspoon. On to the next level, Wayne County, Warren Evans, County Executive. Not a lot goes on in our community where we're not running through Wayne County, so that relationship is key, especially with these grant dollars that are coming out and going through the county. So we thought it was important to make sure we have a good relationship with Wayne County. Met with Warren Evans, Al Haydes, again, a great commissioner for us, a great representative for the city of Romulus. Masad Turf, the Chief of Staff, Kamal Aswami, Director of Business Development in the county, Terry Carroll, Community Development Administrator. He's key to getting block grants and CDBG grants for our community, additional Fed dollars. We've had Wayne County Business Roundtable meetings, Wayne County Community Update meetings. Additional community partners, Huron Township Supervisor David Glabe, Mayor Bill Wild out of Westland, Van Buren Township Supervisor Kevin McNamara, Chad Newton from the, he's the CEO for Wayne County Airport Authority. New to the list, Sarah Gonzalez. We never had a contact with Delta before, but now Delta has a community partner and they want to work with us. So I'm excited about that and where that's going to go. Delta is a significantly louder voice and again, extra leverage for this community. Christopher Gerwood, Executive Director of Airtropolis. What a tool that's been. Did Chris make it here tonight? There he is over there. Huge asset for our community. When development comes through the pipeline and then people are looking to invest in Michigan, they'll send the ads out of what they're looking for, X amount of square feet, X amount of capabilities, and it runs through Chris and he advertises for this whole region, but also with Romulus. It helps us market our property and bring in new opportunities. Jim Perry, Downriver Community Conference, Ron Henricks, Southern Wayne County Regional Chamber, Jordan Selleck, CWW, and also we had the entire Michigan Economic Development team in the office to sit down with those, specifically the director, Quentin. So that being said, before I move on to the next square, that seems like a lot of names, it's a lot of work, there's a lot of meetings, and I gotta get Jill Lambert up here. Where's Jill at? Come up here, Jill. Give her a round of applause. All these meetings right here and these names we come up with are a headache for Jill because she's the one that schedule this meeting, schedule this meeting, schedule this meeting, let's get rocking. And she had her pace that she ran with, but she's been great at adapting, and I know what I run at a different pace. So we got Jill a therapy animal for. This is my spirit animal, the squirrel, because there's no idea that we don't chase down. So when you're stressed out and I'm running you out, there you go. So thank you for all you do. No, you can't throw it at me. Thank you, Jill. Again, I don't want to say it's like a culture shock to her, but we shifted into high gear and we're not going to back down on anything anytime soon. So thank you, Jill, for all you do. You know what, and that could be extended to my whole team in my office. Vanessa's done a great job. Julie Butelko, I couldn't do what I do without you guys to keep propping me up and giving me the information I need for the next meeting that we have scheduled. Again, additional meetings we had at the RAC was the Southern Wayne County Regional Chamber and also CAPCOM. CAPCOM was a meeting we had in Lansing. Regional leaders came up there to discuss ideas. We wanted to share ideas, hear what other communities were going on. I took Chief Kevin Kraus with me up there because Kevin's been a great asset for economic development as well. And I'm not a big fan of going to meetings that have little value. So the first couple days at this conference, it seemed like, what are we doing here? I'm not getting that aha moment, that idea that I need. But what I took out of it was validation that we're doing the right things, we're heading in the right direction. You know, I've seen some city directors and some administrators that were writing things down and hurriedly writing notes and moving. That means that we're already ahead of the curve. Some of these things that they're just catching up on, we're already doing. So that was the validation. That's what I took away from that. We're on the right track. Again, you'll hear me talk about regional relationships. Up at the Mackinac Policy Conference, got a lot of good work done. I got pulled into this meeting right here. It was the announcements for Ford's reinvestment into Michigan. That's a huge win right there for the state of Michigan and this region. Over $3 billion in investment, doubling down on the electric truck, the Lightning. It's huge for Wayne, huge for Downriver. More specifically, Romulus, where we have the Fort Ion project moving forward, where they're going to develop batteries at that campus there. So that's a huge win for the city of Romulus as well, that Ford's going to stay home here. Again, you'll see at this meeting right here, Quentin Messer, MEDC, Governor Whitmore, Wayne County Exec Warren Evans, his team up there, Al Hadis. Again, he's the guy that just drug me right along. He's like the good uncle. Al, are you here tonight? Did he make it? I think he had a family conflict. Okay, moving on. Switching gears to Public Safety Foundation. This is a good vehicle for us to be able to purchase things for public safety, fire, police department, with community partnerships without using general fund dollars. So the partners we brought in, DTE, Penske, US Ecology, AAA, Kroger's jumped right in with both feet, G. Marco Mullins and Horton, Beaumont, Amazon, Gateway Townhouses, Public Service Credit Unions. They've all invested in our public safety foundation. Good community partnerships. This one right out of the box. Beaumont helped us with this grant to get the Lucas device. You see right here, it's an automated chest compression device for CPR, so you get the same stroke, same depth every time. And so that's an additional life-saving device that we'll have. And also right here, we have the first aid kits for first responders. It amazed me to find out that there was a lot of our police officers that might be recalled to a hazardous situation, and they didn't know how to administer first aid to themselves. They had been trained on how to attack the situation and take care of it, but not to administer first aid for themselves if they became a victim. So I thought that was a huge one right there. Again, RFD Community Outreach. This is a great training right here. What I saw right here was our first responders working together, our fire department and our police department, and I was a fly on the wall and I watched them train and they shared ideas. And again, it was amazing to me how much, basic knowledge of the fire department was not basic knowledge of the police department and vice versa. So by those sharing ideas, they're going to make sure that our first responders are safe, be it police or fire, and they're going to handle situations in the same manner. Again, multiple pictures, community involvement, working with our school systems. This was our fire department reaching out when our senior towers lost energy last year. They reached out to their contacts, found some food and some other things that the seniors were lacking, and we were able to make a delivery for them. Another thing that you'll hear me say all the time is data makes good decisions. We collect the data, we put it in the system, we call these heat maps. They show you frequency for calls for service. So you look right here, all the data gets put into the system, we'll see where the hot areas are. By looking at that, we can talk about where we're going to put fire stations, where we're going to put service, where we're going to put our first responders to better serve you. The data doesn't lie. The calls for service come in, we keep tracking it, and we see our hot spots, where it's more concentrated, and where we need to do to look for better service in the future. Call volume, Romulus Fire Department, 2019, over 5,000 runs, dropped a little bit in 2020 due to COVID. A lot of people weren't calling, and then we're escalated again in 2021 to over 5,300 calls. Total over 3 years, over 15,000 calls for service from the fire department. Special operations and training, again, regional significance. USAR, Chief Krause is a member of this team. They utilize their tools. If something happens outside of our community and we can reciprocate, we assist those other communities. That team was on alert for the tornado that just ran through Gaylord. That's typical things that they'll respond to that are out of that norm of normalcy, the run of normalcy. This right here is a new relationship. Wayne County Airport Authority has a bomb squad that runs through there. We've been able to relay with them, let them use our facilities, let them work, let them train. They need in new areas. We have them in the old 34th District Court building for some training, also in our school system. And now, because of that relationship, Chief Faunus is gonna reconfigure how we do our preparedness for in the event that we need a bomb team out. Hopefully we don't, but in case we do. CPSE, third party. Evaluate best practices to make sure that our fire department is established best practices and transparency. So we are having a third-party accreditation to go through right now. Community risk assessment. New hires in public safety. Some new faces around. Glad to grow the team. Officer Dunn, Officer Sardenas and Salazar, Officer Williams. A lot of youth here. This is a nice pickup right here because he's a seasoned officer out of Detroit. So we have some young officers out there, and we got to sprinkle in a little bit of wisdom and some experience. So that brings in Officer Williams. Officer Green's another new hire. On the fire department side of things, Firefighter Gonzalez, Firefighter Saab, and our newest hire, Firefighter Pagowski. Newly promoted, we talk about all the time. We have so much talent here in the city of Romulus and people who know our community that we can promote from within. So I'm very proud of those things right here. Deputy Chief Shelby, give it up for Deputy Chief Shelby, became, 20-year police officer. We brought him up, realigned it. We put Ordinance underneath him, so we didn't have the need to hire an Ordinance director to backfill that position. He's done a great job there. And also Sergeant Otter, give him a hand too. He's out of color guard as well. Lieutenant Eric Harris being sworn in right here. And Monique Talley, right here. We got a little bit of history there. Where's Monique at? There she is. She worked for me for a while ago. And we talk about right person, right seat. And Monique didn't exactly like being in the building department. Let's just be honest about it. But I could tell she had talent. We had to put her in the right seat. And now that she's been put in the right seat at the police department, she's done a great job over there. So give it up again for Monique Talley. Well done. MACP accreditation. This is huge. Those who know Romulus know where we've at, where we've come from. This is big. Only 6% of law enforcement agencies in the state of Michigan have this accreditation. This is a third-party accreditation process, goes through and evaluates processes through the police department, make sure they're following the correct protocol, and they're operating in a transparent manner. And like I said, only 6% of law enforcement agencies in Michigan have attained this, so well done, Chief Faunus, and your team over there. You've done a great job. Keep it up. I love this too. Take a second and read that. This is something Chief Finance brought to the city of Romulus. Every time we swear in a new officer, this is the oath that they take.
We're here for those of us who don't lie.
On my honor, I will never betray my badge, my integrity, my character, or public trust. I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our actions. I will always uphold the Constitution while serving my community and representing the Romulus Police Department. I love that. Great job, you guys. You know, if you look around here too, you look at, things are changing over there. I've never seen a swearing in or an event we had at City Hall for our public safety where it was that well attended. And they're buying in, and we just got to show that we support our first responders and our public safety. Another feather in Chief Finance's cap over at our new 34th District Court building. You see him here working with Chief Judge Brian Oakley. Chief Finance is also training at the Police Academy for Wayne County. So not only has he brought us to a new level at our police department, he's also training classes for future police officers and also other chiefs of police. So think about that. Let that marinate for a minute. So here we are right here training, using our building, creating those regional relationships, and benefiting our community. RPD calls for service. Again, tracking data. Tracking data. Can't say it enough. The data doesn't lie. You follow the numbers. We've jumped all the way from 2019, 11,000 runs, all the way to over 17,000 in this run. So we're tracking where those calls are, what's our problem, and what's pushing it. A lot of what we found, two key areas, and you'll hear me talk about them both later on. Barrington Apartments, almost 400 calls for service last year. We had to know what's going on over there and take care of it, and we did. We took action, and we're making changes over there right now. The other was our hotel district. We didn't have crime in this community. If there's an issue, it's somebody from a different community coming to our town. The hotel district ran their business for years off of travelers. When COVID came and there was no travel, they're bringing in different parties. So we're going after our hotel districts. We're having conversations with the owners, and we're going to support our PD. PD's over there all the time. That's why they're not in your areas and your subdivisions. So we're trying to pull them out of that airport district or the hotel district, put them back in your areas. This is another key stat right here. Look at that, from 2019 to 2022, service increased 53%. Working closer with Chief Finance too, this is another one I didn't realize. Where we've been having significant wins with economic development, we're increasing the workload for our police department and our fire department. We're just talking about the wins we have with economic development. Well, I think there's over 500 calls for service on the medical side of things at Amazon alone. So as we're increasing, we need to increase their staffing to bring them up so they can adequately service our community. Public safety, renovation grant sought for RPD headquarters. We all know that they are over there on Olive in a 100-year-old school. First thing we thought of was, does that location work good for our police department? According to Chief Finance, it works great. He wants to keep that home there. We want to keep that message that our police department is surviving in our downtown, in our DDA. The second part is it structurally sound? Is it worth investing in? So we've had third party come out, investigate the building, make sure it was sound and worth the investment. You see right here, we've worked with a third party contractor as well, because a lot of this was just added over the years. Somebody needs an office, stick it over here, stick it over here. None of it works. There's no flow, no design. So by getting this technology and this software, they can look for it and see what flows and what's the best way to design a police department. So if we are successful in that grant, we will be rebuilding this police department, and we'll make a home that they're proud to call their home, and that'll help with keeping them in our downtown district, and also with recruitment and bringing officers into a place where they want to work. You can't bring into an interview cadets and sell them our city when there's buckets catching water, when there's carpet that's trash, and it shows that we don't value our police department. Well, that's exactly the opposite. And we're going to value them, we're going to show them we value them, we're going to rebuild this building. RPD community outreach. You guys are out doing some fun stuff too. Being a police officer is not always bad. Cop versus cop sled race downriver, that went well. Shop with a Cop program, I love that. Different things that the police officers are doing, the bike rides, to be out in our community, be part of our community, not just there for law enforcement to support us. Different programs. This is a basketball tournament they recently had to raise funds for the Cop with the Shop program. Again, community involvement. Same with the hockey. That was police and fire on both of those teams. Great feel-good stories. Quintrell Zumbro, good story, little kid was hit by a car. So the police officer took it on themselves to go to do some follow-up with him. Took him a new bike and some other things, and the community supported that. We actually pitched in and got him a membership to the rack, so he's not playing in the parking lot. We want to get him indoors to have a little bit of fun. DeJuan Johnson, that's a great story, all parties involved. His mom was incapacitated, called 911, couldn't tell them how to find him. So all the dispatchers, the whole team, they thought outside the box. How do we get to this person? How do we, administer first aid? How do we help her? And they got creative solutions and found a way to get to that house. And there's his mom right there, alive to tell about that day. So it was a great job. So give it up for those guys for a great effort and outside the box thinking. One thing before I transition to the next portion of this, we talk about the fun things that police officers do. And the frustrating part on their end is that we can't really advertise the scary things that they're doing. But rest assured, I've had personal experience. We had an incident last year or 2 years ago where we had a gunman fire 2 shots at officers and then escape into the woods behind my house. And I watched these guys put themselves to the hazard. And in behind my house, there's significant barriers where they could hide. And I was afraid for them going back there because it could have been an ambush situation. But to watch those officers put themselves to the hazard without a moment's hesitation is something to see. So it's not just fun, in the sled races that we love to see, in the bike races. They do the scary things that are out there that are keeping us safe that we don't talk about. And I witnessed that firsthand. One of the officers called that day and said, well, they were extra concerned because they know my wife works from home a lot. I said, well, I've seen the First Lady shoot. If he gets in the house, this is going to be over real quick. So think about that. Think about the scary things that these guys are out there doing too, putting themselves to the hazard for us. It's not just fun and games for them, not just the fluffy things we can talk about. Public safety, snow emergency process enhancement. Simply put, we're not playing around anymore. If we clear these streets in time, DPW can clear those streets in half the time. Half the time, half the tax dollars, half the time. So all we need is a little cooperation from our residents to, when it's a snow emergency out, get your car off the road. If you're in doubt and it's snowing, get your car off the road. If not, this is what's coming. We, at the last snow emergency, we towed over 50 cars. Isn't that right, Hull? So over 50 cars. So we're just strict on code enforcement. It's just a different day. And if those affect our tax dollars because you're not getting the car out of the road, this is what's coming for you. We don't want it this way. We'd rather you cooperate with us and help us give you better service, but this is what's happening. Ordinance enforcement. We are recommitting, doubling down, made some great progress, never as fast as I want it. It's never as fast as I want it. But we have a whole new team. We talked about the promotion of Captain Shelby to Deputy Chief. We realigned ordinance under him. We brought in new officers with Leanne Sullins and Craig Raich. Dave Greco, a new prosecuting attorney. Also a new officer, Robert Kirby. We put him into the pile too. So these guys are out hitting it, doing good work. I mentioned the Barrington Apartments. We tracked that data, and these guys did a hell of a job over there. Blight enforcement. This is a telling number right here. We track the data. I can't say it enough. We don't want to be heavy-handed all the time. We don't want to issue citations. But if we have to get compliance, we will. 88% of notifications sent were settled with the homeowner reaching out to the officer and finding a way to find a solution. The other ones, well, then we find a different way to motivate you. So potential violations, 1,300 were called, complied 1,000. 88% though were people communicating with the ordinance department, finding a way to solve the situation. At the end of the day, clean it up. We expect a higher level for this community, and we're going to get there. Fighting blighted Barrington Apartments. Not the first time this has happened, but what we've learned is if we stay on these property owners, these outside investors, it's an investment company out of New Jersey that owns Barrington Apartments, hence the 300 and something calls for service for the police department, and the blight that we had over there. Once we properly motivated them, I'll use that word, they lowered the price, they sold it. Now we have a new owner at the Barrington, over $4 million in capital investment they're already putting in it. You can see the flat work, the roof's going on. It's getting a complete facelift, and it's a complete transition for that significant apartment complex in our community. But like I said, what we've learned is if you stay there and you stay on them and you keep writing the citations and you let them know you ain't going away, it's going to get fixed, one way or the other. I tell them all the time we can do it the easy way or the really easy way. The really easy way is I just set an appointment up with Judge Oakley, and you go talk to him about it. Fighting blight goes two ways: community involvement. Right here we got a Romulus Eagles football team. For the first time I've seen them out there with our new recreation director, Colleen Dumas, coming out to pick up trash. Ellen Bragg, city clerk, with the citywide free shredding. What we did this year too is a little bit different. We wanted to have everybody out cleaning our community up at one time. So we had citywide free dump, we had the shred day, and also clean sweep all on the same day. And it was a great effort, and look at the team that showed up. We had private partnership, public partnerships, residents coming out. We had kids. I love seeing the youth and cleaning up our community. So great day. We're going to continue to build that event. Working hard to serve our community. 12 new employees, Teamsters and AFSCME, done a great job. And they work for our city. They do the things that are the ugly things that you don't get to see. They're out there at 2 a.m. fixing a water main break for you, working on the sewer, making sure your roads are taken care of. So those are the people that do the things that make the city function, and you don't get to see them. So when you see them, give them an attaboy. Development and opportunity. This is, we've talked about it a lot, the North Point development, over 2 million square feet over off the Wick and Vining area. Creative solutions, 4 years working with the North Point team to get to this point. See Michael Payton over there. And it took a significant effort to get here. And what I like about this one is they heard what we were talking about. They heard from our elected officials. We had smaller meetings. Why aren't you excited about bringing this here? Well, we'll tell you why. And we told them the same thing. There's nothing that's going to get us excited about this project, and nothing that's going to service our residents in this community. Nothing that's going to address the things that we need. So, multifaceted right here. They upgraded their standards for development, construction. It's not just tilt-up panels. It's going to be a little bit nicer development. You'll see that. Over 1,000 jobs are projected in there. Over 2 million square feet, over 1,000 jobs. We're not even talking about the tax base, but that's where you have your economic development. Now you have people that need to eat there. Now you have a reason for somebody to invest in that area. First olive out of the bottle is this site right here. That's going to be Royal Farms, East Coast establishment. They're going to open up here. It's going to be the first one in Michigan. They've been trying to break into Michigan for a while, and we got the first one on this site. The creative part we have over here, Phase 1, 3 commercial buildings, and then Royal Farms right here, retail. All of this is developed on their dime. They have to do, in order to move forward with Phase 2, which is these 3 buildings, they have to put in 3 more retail establishments. We don't know what they are, but they're going to be service-oriented for the residents. Dry cleaner, bank, restaurant, we don't know, but we're hoping that the jobs here will drive this economy. Now there's a reason to get off the highway and shop at this area. Last phase, Phase 3, 2 more retail buildings over here. Creative, outside-the-box thinking, and really a partnership with North Point on this one. Like I said, this just shows better detail. Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, and if they can't take care of all 3 phases in a period of 48 months, they have to pay the city upwards of $3 million. Now, I don't want that penalty. I want to see this development. I want to see it grow. I think this is going to be that first olive out of the bottle, and you're going to have more reason for people to travel there. And just a little bit from the economic development side of things, they knew that they would not get approval for this site if we didn't have this component. That's a key part of it. I sat in the rooms while they offered developers who did these types of developments, we'll give you the 32 acres and we'll give you $10 million to get you started. And the people who do that and do that development were still scared of it. And so that was the eye-opener for us, going, well, wait a minute. We have to work with them and create that market that's going to sustain one and the other. And I'm excited about Royal Farms. Royal Farms, you've heard everybody say, well, it's a gas station. It's a little bit more than that. It's more of a C-store. I compare them more to Nick's place on Ecorse Road. We all know what that is. Is a little bit of retail in there, Royal Farms, chicken and fast food, and also the gas station. So very encouraged about that. Looking forward to moving that forward. Another big win for us, Genesco Development Company. That's going in over on Pennsylvania and Warman Road. That's a good story. We got a call from Lansing. Significant development that wants to do manufacturing, and they were trying to get a home in other communities, and they couldn't find a way. We were on the phone with them about 45 minutes before we had a home in Romulus, and they'll be breaking ground here any day now. So I'm excited about that one as well. Aerostar Manufacturing, that's a big win, and that's all the players involved. Aerotropolis Economic Development, they were leaving, Michigan Economic Development Corporation rather, they were leaving Romulus. Advanced manufacturing jobs, going to find a different home. Looking in Indiana, looking in Ohio, where can we go? MEDC stepped up, Aerotropolis stepped up, Romulus stepped up. Not only do we keep them here in Romulus, they're expanding here in Romulus. So huge win for our community. Keep the jobs here, keep the manufacturing here, and also this development put us in line for the possibility to get grants that might pave Harrison Road. So one follows the other, and growth equals growth. This is the exciting one everybody's talking about. Kroger delivery. Excuse me. That's a game changer right here. I'm excited about that one. When that one came, they were thinking about other areas in the country. We won this one. I think there's 7 now going in our country in different areas. And they're scheduled here to open in June, but they pushed it back to July. The reason being is they want to get the process right. What they're doing is so cutting edge, it's so new, they don't want to open up and get it wrong. They want to get it right. And the way this is going to work, you're going to buy a membership to it. You go on your cell phone, your computer, your app, you enter in your grocery list, tell them I'll be home tomorrow between 3 and 4. Bam, the groceries are at your house. This is going to be a game changer for us. I'm excited about it, excited about the win for Romulus. They've also been a great community partner. You can see right here they've already committed food donations, helping out. They donated a bunch of turkeys over Thanksgiving holiday to needy families in here. Training with the seniors, are working on that to make sure everybody knows how to use the service there. And I'm really excited about moving them forward and opening their doors. Rooftops too, we continue to grow. We've averaged about 100 homes the last 3 years, even during the pandemic. And the way you develop your economy, you know, Economic Development 101, median income, and rooftops. And that's where you bring in the investors. So once again, we're working on a program right now that'll finish out Gateway Golf Course. Approximately 100 homes right now, it's in process right now. So we're working them through it, and we'll continue to get the wins for residential development in our community. Additional rooftops, additional tax base, and also additional opportunities for our schools to capture, you know, new kids, new students. Outside the box thinking. Hats off to our DDA on this one. Typically in our downtown, we know we've had those vacant buildings sitting there for a long time. They go for back taxes, somebody buys them, and they think they have a fortune, they slap some paint on it, and they want to sell it for $500,000, and it just sits vacant. DDA seized the opportunity, moved in on a few of them. They bought them at a great price. This right here is the old Polka Dots, and that's the old Pizza Barn. They're in really good shape. This right here is, we call it the old Chamber Building on Shook Road. What they're doing now is running into business incubators. So if you have an opportunity, and there'll be an event coming up this summer, we're going to bring in entrepreneurs who are ready to make that next step, to have a storefront, to have brick and mortars, to reinvest in the community. But you might not have all that capital to have a big investment on the front of it. So we want them to succeed. So we're going to help them grow businesses. So we're going to have some seminars coming out, meetings coming out, and we're going to try to grow local opportunities and local talent and put them in our storefronts. And I'm pretty excited about that. That attitude got the attention of Channel 4. They came down to the story on it. And now they're using that footage on their commercial. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard it's running all over Channel 4, and they're focusing on the city of Romulus. Again, opportunities, creative solutions, outside the box thinking, and this is how we bring our downtown back. You know, we can't give up on our downtown. The city invested over $8 million in infrastructure down there. We forget about that. So we're in there, we're going to make this thing happen one way or the other. The Normans, everybody loves the Normans. If you've been to a Romulus event, are they here? Are they here? If you've been to a Romulus event in the last few years, you've had Normans cooking. They've been a part of everything, even those Girl Scouts, right? Where'd the Girl Scouts go? Did they take off? They're already tired of me? Romulus Flowers and Gifts. Again, you know, hats off to Chief Krauser's wife, Michelle. They invested in our community. They bought the flower shop. They got hit with, right when they opened up, they got hit with COVID, and then they got hit with a fire. And they stayed determined, they reinvested, they doubled down, and we did a ribbon cutting and got them opened back up. Upscale Warehouse. Vincent and Carol, it's a great story. They bought an old blighted building, one we didn't have to take action on to get it fixed, and they invested on their own. So, and that's where I talk about we got good at process for the large scale development. How do we get them shovels coming out of the ground fast as possible? Well, we still have room to grow and room to learn on helping out the little guy, the people who don't have the deep pockets, the people who want to invest in their community and don't have that capital investment that somebody else might have, because they've done a great job. You got to stop by this place and check it out. I love the inside of it. It's live entertainment. They even do a Sunday brunch now, but that's a great story right there too on the Wayne Road corridor. Creative solutions. Motorcycles. Who doesn't love motorcycles, right? Big Steve's, he's another one. He was working on custom motorcycles in his garage in Romulus, was ready to make that leap, but didn't have that capital investment. Creative solutions. We worked with CDBG money through the county, built our old fire hall, Station 1 right there on Wayne and Goddard. And here we are, we got a home for Big Steve's, and here's Senator Peters paying us a visit because, believe it or not, he's a motorcycle guy too. We talk about leverage of relationships, we talked Harleys for a minute, and then we talked about economic development, and I snuck in grade separation conversations because we're not done with that one until we get that bridge with Huron over those railroad tracks on Pennsylvania Road. But that's why we talk about relationships and regional significance. Rumble and Romulus. You know, another thing Big Steve has done, he's jumped in with both feet as being involved in our community. And him and Artisan Reserve, Brian, they've established bike night downtown. So a couple people came to me and said, what is bike night? It's not that big scary thing. Come on down. It's just people who like things shiny and loud. Come check them out. You don't have to have a motorcycle. You don't have to be a biker to enjoy it, but just come and check it out. You can have a mini bike if you want, right, Billy? You can bring a mini bike down there. But it's a good event and it's good energy, and I love to see the passion Steve brings, and him and Brian working together with that synergy, and they're creating the Rumble in Romulus. They're working on details for that right now, but he's just trying to make a good, fun community event. He's going to partner with Mary and the Sounds Downtown and grow that to a weekend-long event. So come on down. Wayne Metro. A couple different things we got on this square. How we're going to fund with, we're going to be looking for every opportunity to see some of these grants. Right now we have over 14 grants in excess of over $5 million we're trying to get. But Wayne Metro ties into that and that relationship. And I got to tip the hat to Judge Oakley on teaming into this team right here. So Wayne Metro, they needed a home. Brian put us together, Judge Oakley put us together, and we fostered a relationship with Wayne Metropolitan, and we got them leasing space in the old district court for the time being. They are an organization that helps our community and ties us into grants. We talked about the RAP grant, water assistance, different programs that these guys run, rental assistance, but they're an asset to it. And so far, those relationships are growing because now they're already talking about possibility of buying the building. We don't know if we want to sell it yet or increase the lease space, but at least we're having conversations and they're happy being here in Romulus. Financial security. It's on the top of the list. We got to make sure. Right here you still see we are still a bargain for a full service community. Even with our millage for public safety, we are the 4th lowest out of 34 cities in Wayne County. Good stewards of city tax dollars. It's our first year running the budget. You know, I've been in budget meetings for the last 22 years, but this is the first time I'm sitting there as mayor and I get to see all the inner workings. And my department heads did a great job. Give them a round of applause. They came in with budgets that were needs over wants, no fluff, no frills, and we bought the things that we needed to buy to keep the city moving forward. They did a great job. City Council as well approved it unanimously, so we continued to balance the budget on the first time out and also managed to save some money and increase our general fund. DPW roads budget, we talk all the time about roads. Nobody wants to talk about that. You know, I figured let's put it up here on a slide, let's talk about it. I'm going to look at it from a different aspect. I come from the DPW. I know how hard it is to fund road programs. And I know how embarrassing it is to be responsible for those neighborhood city streets. At the end of the day, we won't be able to capture federal dollars to fix our neighborhood streets. I say streets because there's a difference. The streets are in your neighborhoods, your roads are outside in the other areas that we all use. We can capture grant money, and we do those every chance we get. Roberto and his team does a great job. Roberto, where you at? Works hard with OHM, all the grant opportunities that are out there. We seize those grants and we fix the roads that we can, but we won't find those dollars for neighborhood streets. So you look at this budget right here, Act 51 money, that's how we fund our streets. That's the money we get to fix our roads that comes through Lansing. Your tax dollars don't go directly into our roads. We get that money from Lansing based on Act 51 numbers. $2.4 million. By the time we staff it and have personnel and some costs for grant opportunities to seize those grants, that leaves us about $400,000 to do a road project. One lane a mile of road takes about $1 million every year. So that tells you that $400,000 doesn't go far. The reason I'm putting this up here is because we're determined to find a solve for it. And that's where we have these regional relationships going in, and we're going to keep going to Lansing. We're going to try to keep working and change that Act 51 formula because it doesn't work for us. We're going to keep trying to find ways to fix our roads because what we have is unacceptable. But I just wanted to put this slide up here to let everybody know where we're at, what they're dealing with. I told Roberto I wanted to fix some roads, and he says, I only got $400,000 in the account. It just doesn't go far. We'll do what we can to maintain, but we're going to find a way to take care of the issue. So speaking of some of these wins that Roberto and the team have got, Beverly Road East of Middle Belt, we'll be working on that here in a minute. The reconstruction of Brant Road over in the Oakbrook subdivision, and also Huron River Drive resurfacing. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Wick Road, GLW, LA water main. So everybody knows that is not our project. When Roberto runs a project, it runs like Barth Road. You see how fast and how smooth that went down. This is not his project. Roberto has had limited authority and limited ability, same as the city of Romulus. It's a GLWA project. We've been frustrated. I'm listening to their timelines. They're just saying we'll have paving done this summer. I'm hopeful, but I'm not that optimistic. So we're going to keep pushing on them, keep doing what we can. Roberto's had 3 different foremen thrown off this job, but if we fire the contractor, what's going to happen? They're going to have to rebid it, and we're going to be years down the road as well. So we're going to keep pushing on that one. Lead service line investigation grant. The team from OHM and Roberto were successful in getting an opportunity there. It'll go before council next week. We have a grant opportunity to do a lead service line. We all know it's a hot topic. We want to make sure that your drinking water is safe. So with this grant, we'll be able to do a deeper drill into our lead water service lines. Eureka Road resurfacing. Here's a win. We talk about relationships. Charlie Langston, he found out that I was out there building a file on potholes because Eureka Road is a failed road. Potholes not 6 feet. Potholes about that big around. It's a failed road system. So we had more voices in the room. We brought in Detroit Metro Airport, Delta, Huron Township, Wayne County representatives. We had a meeting in there, more voices. We were heard. It's not a total reconstruct, but they did better than just cold patching, and we're still working on a big solve to reconstruct that road. The reoccurring message that we keep saying to the state of Michigan and to Wayne County is that we are the gateway to Michigan. We used to say we're the gateway to the world. That means that you're leaving our community, you're leaving the state. We're the gateway to Michigan. We're the first thing you see when you land in Michigan. So we're going to keep working on that. We're going to try to get the focus on these roads that surround our airport and work on regional partnerships. Leveraging relationships. High priority is Wayne Road corridor, all the way from Wick Road all the way to Van Born. We're working on some projects right now, and we have some momentum on a sidewalk grant because we know we have pedestrian issues over there, and we're going to be working on that, but the goal is a total reconstruct. We had Wayne County exec out there, did a tour through the city, showed them that we can continue our process because economic development successes in Romulus help this whole region. We have the room to grow. But if we don't get some cooperation, we don't get some work, if we don't get some attention on our roads, we're not going to be able to seize those opportunities to keep economic development coming to Romulus, which inherently helps the whole region. This one right here, it's on track for next year. This is Wayne and Ecorse Road intersection. You see the right turn lane. They're working on property acquisition right now. This should take place next year, but I'm excited about that. That entire intersection needs to go. It's in a terrible way. So as soon as they take care of the final stages of property acquisition right here, they're going to reconstruct that, and that right turn lane will alleviate a lot of this backup that we have on northbound Wayne Road right at Ecorse Road. Communication, communication, communication. We hear it all the time, and we're going to crack this nut. We do have a hardship. We have an airport right in the middle of our community. We have 4 quadrants. We're going to keep working on this way, and we're going to find a way to communicate all the city's events and all the ongoings here with everybody. This right here, this is a community calendar that we started putting together on our website, so please get in the habit of using that. That idea came out last year when we did trunk or treats. You had several different areas doing trunk or treats. Kids were loving it, but nobody knew what was going on. Nothing was coordinated. You had them at the same time. So we thought, you know what, if we have one calendar when everybody can go to when you're going to plan your event or when you schedule an event, what a great way to do it. So you're not going to overlap. Watch your mailbox. You know, we're going everywhere from apps to community to going back to newsletters, and we're going to be newspaper back out too. So watch your mailbox, sign up for emails. Code Red is another great way to communicate. We just want to keep telling our message. One thing I'm doing here is we're going to be taking Taking the show on the road, we're going to go out to the neighborhoods and talk to the people. We want to get out there. We heard it over loud and clear about communication. So we are calling it the One Romulus Community Meetings. First one's going to be Tuesday, June 21st at Rommel. So we're going to go to the neighborhoods. We're going to talk to them. We have some open, honest discussion. We don't want to call it a town hall. That sounds kind of old-fashioned, but this is really a One Romulus thing. So we want to make sure we're communicating with the residents. Welcoming community. We do Patriot well. You hear me say it all the time. Here we are. We reach across America. I love that Romulus has embraced that program, done a great job. Been 6 years running now. We've exceeded expectations. Our banners for our veterans downtown Romulus, and also our Flag Day event, which will be June 14th. For those who don't know, at 11 o'clock, come on down to our World War I monument, and we're gonna do that again. And also another event coming this year, July 9th, Patriots in the Park. Watch for more information on that. It's a little competition between the city of Taylor, Dearborn Heights, Riverview, and city of Romulus. And we're going to hope that everybody shows out and then we show them how we patriot. Other welcoming events. I don't know who this guy right here is in a beard, but they got him out on the Good Friday walk. I had some fun with Pastor Willis on that one. They had me come out there, and I had to be Peter. So nobody told me what we're doing on this event, so at the last minute, he said, well, wait a minute, you're going to do Peter, right? You just got to stand up there and speak as Peter. And I said, yeah, I got it. I said, when do I part the Red Sea? Just tell me that part. He gave me that look like, wait a minute, that's Moses. So even though I had the beard, I was on, I knew who Peter was. We did all right. So great event. Thank you for that. Thank you for Tina Talley. We had Eva Webb, Stacy Page, Ellen Craig Bragg. Everybody participated. Great community event. Look forward to building that. Easter egg hunt. That was fabulous. Everybody celebrates this guy. I'm not sure why. He's a guy who used to drop off cold to me when I was a kid. But we gave him the key to the city. Turkey Trot, another great Romulus event. MLK Day Walk, great event. We're going to keep continuing to build that. This one right here, I like that the 34th District Court did, Community Day. I love when somebody else in the community is doing an event, it's not the city pushing it. And they did a great job with that event. Even though it rained, you had about 700 people show up. Is that right, Brian?
It was great.
Great event. So give them a round of applause, you guys. 34th District Court, act on their own, great community event. We had DPW, fire, PD, everybody out there, show them what we have going on in our community. St. John's Lodge, this will be coming this Saturday, our annual softball game, community partnerships. These guys are a great organization that operates in our community. They've always done a great job. I've worked with them for years, but we always do the softball game. So we're going to have some fun. So if you want to come out to their park, they invite us in for, this will be our 6th year doing a softball game, and we'll have some fun out there. So come on out on June 11th at noon, and we're going to run the grills out there too. Hometown Hero, another amazing event. This is the reason we stay motivated. Those people right there, the residents right there that just do the right thing all the time and keep this community rolling. That's the heartbeat of this community. That's what keeps us going. This one right here, does anybody know who that is right there? Person of the year, where's she at? Great job. You know, I sat through Carol's program the other night, and everybody sat there and they tried to encompass her body of work and what she's done for this community, and I could sum it up in just one little thing. What she did was establish a blueprint for our generation. If you want a good community, you got to get involved, and she was a great example of how to get that done. So give her a round of applause again, you guys. Thank you, Carol. Meeting coming up at the City Hall this Thursday. So we all talked about the monument. There's an opportunity right here to reestablish our monument and call this a Veterans Park. This is not an initiative, this is not set in stone. We're having the open conversations at this meeting to hear your thoughts, concerns. We thought it was a valuable opportunity to create a Veterans Park in our community. And you see the renderings we have out there. Like I said, this is a very liquid situation. It's just an opportunity. The birdhouse, for those who don't know, he was wounded in Gettysburg, and that further ties us into the Civil War. We all know that the Underground Railroad ran through Romulus, but he was wounded in Gettysburg, came back here to Romulus, built a house, had a farm for years. So this right here, by putting this monument here, calling this a Veterans Park, that opens up doors for grants, funding opportunities, different ways to rebuild that house and make something we can all be proud of. So we're going to be discussing that June 9th at City Hall, so hopefully you'll attend. Retaining and attracting local talent. Dave Paul, fixture in this community for years. I think he's the only person that had the job that I had where we worked in DPW and the building department. So he's always been a reference for me, done a great job, great community partner, a great doer in this community. And we decided he'd done his portion, he's stepping aside. We had the opportunity to keep promoting from within and raising talent. We took Emery Long, who's on a BZA, longtime Rotarian, helping this community out. We moved him up to the Planning Commission, and we brought in a newcomer, Brian Lloyd. Met Brian, new guy, moved to the city. We put him on the BZA. He was another guy that wanted to make a difference, so we challenged him up. Put your money where your mouth is, and he was the first one to jump on it. Submitted an application, and now we got him on our BZA. So good job, Brian, getting involved. Colleen Dumas, where's she at? Hey, Colleen. So I'll make this short. I probably already prattled on quite a bit, but anyway, I'm trying to get going here. Colleen, I met Colleen again after 30 years we hadn't talked, but we're at the park and we had an issue. We were cleaning the park up. She was out there helping pick up. I had my wife and the grandkids out there, and we were doing our thing. And then the more I was talking to her, you're Colleen. What happened to you? How did we lose this talent? How did we lose this passion? She went on to bigger, better things, and she was working for another city. So we captured that talent. We brought her back home. When did you start and date full time? July 5th. She's already hitting the ground running. She's coming in right now doing things. I'm excited to see what she's going to do about recreation, the changes we're going to be, youth sports coming back, different things going on. She's got ideas worse than I got them. So somebody might need a spirit animal or a therapy animal in your department as well. So, but you see right here, Kathy Abdo did some digging here, found some old pictures of the basketball star we had back in the day. What year did you graduate? 85? 85. And does anybody know who this is? Anybody? Anybody? Anybody, Miss Tally? Hoop stars. Bringing back that Eagle passion, and that's a key part of this initiative. Who loves this? Who loves this community? Who wants to see us rebuild to where we were? So, yeah, hoop stars right here. Community survey for new programming. They already ran a survey out there, finding new ideas. How do we, what do the residents want to see? Movies in the park every third Friday in June, July, and August. So bring the kids out. You see everybody having a good time out here? It's a great event. Come on out. We do sprays for mosquitoes, so come on out and enjoy it. Check the movies out. It's something to do. It's free. Come on downtown. Senior Olympics. The seniors are out and at it again. Thank gosh. They're out there working. We're past COVID now, doing the thing with the Olympics. The senior luncheons, we're getting together again. It's always great to see everybody getting together. And I don't know if anybody knows this lady. She used to drive bus in the city around us for a long time. Where's she at? Aunt Leota, there she is. That's when we had a great sense of community here. I don't think that we realized when we did things like privatize our bus and different things that were done, you had that sense of community, If I acted up on that bus, my mom knew about it before I got home, and that was part of the reason. But that's when you had a good sense of community, and that's what we're going to strive to bring back in this area. Romulus Community Schools, I'll say it again, community schools. We need to get in there and get involved and help as much as we can. I'm not pointing the finger. I'm saying we have an issue, and we've had scores and we have data that says the schools are struggling and they need our support. And I'm not here, like I said, to point the finger at anybody. I'm here to say that I'm an asset or a resource for our schools at whatever role they're going to need us in. So we're going to do whatever we can. And I love this. This is the fun stuff we get to do too. But the middle school reached out for orientation. They wanted to do a virtual interview. Great questions. You never know what kids think about the mayor. No, I'm not the king, and no, I do not know Trump. DPW tour. I was glad we brought this back too. This is we started doing this years ago and went away to COVID. We brought it back. The kids love coming to the DPW. We love showing them what we do, and they learn a little bit about the work we do at that city, at that building. Impromptu meeting right here. We all know what's going on in this community or in this country right now. I reached out to Chief Faunus. Let's do an impromptu meeting with Principal Petty and look at some security issues. Let him hear some things through Chief Faunus's eyes. What's a good thing to do? What's not a good thing to do? What about doors? What can we do to better our operation to make sure that we're safe? And it turned into a bigger meeting than that because he wanted to walk us through the school and let the kids see us here and know the mayor and the chief of police were here and also the teachers and let them know that we're here for them. School resource officer, that's another big win. Having that officer in place lets these coded officers here to help them out, and it's also here to make them safe. So that's a great win in a partnership between the city and the school. Again, another fun visit here to visit the elementary kids at Barth. This one right here, Metro Charter Academy, went there as well to read with them, and the kids give you these interviews and they want to know different things. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite movie? And so they're saying, what does the mayor do? And I just tried to sum it up, and I said, you know, basically I'll do whatever the residents need us to do to move the city forward. And the kid goes, well, if you do anything I ask, you do 20 push-ups. So, you know what, we got at it, but I made them do the 20 push-ups with me, so we had a good time. Romulus Community Schools, Career Fair. I came through Romulus Schools and we had a strong vocational ed program. There was a lot of opportunities out there. We all know somebody in this community that turns a wrench or has a good trade due to vocational ed programs that we had through the school, and they've gone away. We're trying to bring back and let these kids know there's opportunities other than college out there. Not bailing on college, but there's opportunities that are out there, and there's strong opportunities. And I was encouraged by the first one we did out of the gate. The kids, you can see right here, were engaged in asking questions. We had the city clerk here, Ellen Bragg, and she was talking about voter registration and their rights. We also had police and fire show up because we're also having that recruiting issue. And that's not just a Romulus thing, that's a national problem. So we thought, hey, you know what? Well, better to get the homegrown talent, capture them, let them know there's opportunities here at police and fire, and maybe we can recruit a couple officers. Partnerships in the trade meetings, plumbers 98, carpenters, pipe fitters, building trades, the IBEW electrical workers, bricklayers, sheet metal workers, all showing these kids there's opportunities out there. We know iron workers that are making $100 grand a year and they don't have student debt behind them and they have a good pension behind them and they can move wherever they want in this country. And some of the questions I was asked by these kids is, what vocational ed programs did you have when you were coming through here? And you can see that kind of deflation when they realize they don't have the options that we had. So we need to keep working with our schools, let these kids know we support them, and be out there and show them they have options. Visioning process, I'm excited about this too. We've just selected a company, Future IQ. We did this 8 years ago. It's time for a new vision. We got good data out of that. And I think at that time we kind of stumbled out of the gate. We didn't know what we were doing with the process. We're going to be a lot better at it now. And we understand where we're going. And the good data that we'll get from that, we need community partners. So we'd love to hear your voices. I don't want it to be my vision for this community. I want it to be your vision. So when you see us doing our thing and having these meetings and scheduling them, please get involved. If you want to have a voice, call the mayor's office, call economic development, let us know, give us your contact information. We want you to be involved. We want to hear from you. So I'm excited about that process. The McCraight family, we're wrapping this thing up. All right, we're getting there. So went a little bit over an hour. What's my goal? What's my vision? McCraight boys doing a gun show downtown July again. Just like we had years ago, we had a strong sense of community, and that's what we want to be. We want to refocus our downtown. Pumpkin Festival, Mayor of the Future, this little guy right here, we had him up there. It's just family, and it's all about family. If you're not balanced and you don't have that family out front, you're not going to be good at work. So it's important to have that healthy balance. So that's why we talk a lot about family first and making sure we're involved. And here we are again at the Pumpkin Festival, Freight House, just doing our thing in the community and be a part of these great events. I will shame them a little bit because they both live in Livingston County, and they always come here and they go, we wish we had events like this. So they don't even have those going on in Livingston County. So we got more acreage. We could build more houses. I'm just saying. Right off Tobine. That being said, can I get Declan and Di to come up here? It's going to be part of the program. Come on up. Come on up. Declan, come on up, buddy. He's all about it. Here they come. Bring them up. Bring them up. What's up, buddy? Okay, we're waiting for Dahlia too. Here she comes. She's a little more cautious. Hey, can I have hugs? This is what it's all about, growing family. If you're not growing family, what are you doing, right? And I'm also proud to announce that we're a growing family again. So we have more coming in September, and in December we're going to grow the McCraight family. So I'm really excited about that. So say, hey Mimi, come on up.
Come on, Mimi. Come on.
So come on up here, Mimi.
Come on, Mimi.
They have something for you, Kendra McCraight. Let me tell you about the sacrifice she makes to keep me running and to keep and support the dream and the vision of what we want to do. So many late hours, so many different things go on, and she comes along with all, she supports it all. So that being said, we wanted to bring her up here. You see how she glams up with me, and she makes me look even better when we're out representing our city, but she also wants to get dirty here and help clean our community up. So come here, Declan. Will you give these to Mimi? So here you go, Mimi.
Thank you,
baby.
Good job, buddy. Good job, babe. Couldn't do what I do without a strong family at home and her support. So thank you, babe. Thank you for everything that you put up with. Do you want to make a speech? No, I didn't think so.
Mimi, come this way. I know you love it up here.
Okay. Follow me, you guys. Like I said before, I love a good quote. I love a good inspirational quote from a good, strong leader. Abraham Lincoln's one of my favorites. Like I said, the things he must have dealt with, keeping this country together when he was in office, I can't even imagine that. Determined that a thing can and shall be done, and we shall find a way. That exemplifies my administration. We've determined what things need to be done to continue growth in this community, and that's what we're going to do. Susie Toner, I know you love that quote. How many years have you had to read that one?
I'll give you a 10.
She knows we'll pile on. Once we've determined that a thing can and shall be done, we're going to find a way to do it. Abraham Lincoln. That being said, I want to thank you for attending. All rise for the retirement of the colors. Again, that's a wrap. Thank you for attending. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule. And thank you for continuing to motivate me and move this community forward. So that's it. Thank you.